ex-boyfriend laughed when I opened my dream restaurant. Last night he applied to be my dishwasher. The Burnham landed in my inbox at 11:42 p.m. James Harrington Pern, the same name that once told me I was wasting my time with a culinary pipe dream. I nearly dropped my phone into the sauce I was reducing for tomorrow's special. 3 years ago, James and I were planning our future together. I was working as a line cook at an upscale bistro while developing recipes at night in our tiny apartment kitchen. He was climbing the corporate ladder at a tech firm, bringing home a salary that made my culinary wages look like pocket change. Cooking is your hobby, not a career, he'd say whenever I mentioned opening my own restaurant. Do you know how many restaurants fail in the first year? 80%. Be realistic. The night I was offered the opportunity to take over a small restaurant space in our neighborhood, I rushed home bursting with excitement. The rent was steep and the kitchen needed renovations, but it was everything I dreamed of: perntile exposed brick walls, large windows, and a kitchen I could make my own. James looked up from his laptop, expression flat. You are not seriously considering this, right? We're talking about our future here, houses in good school districts, rediment accounts. Not some vanity project that'll bankrupt you. When I explained I'd already signed the lease using my grandmother's inheritance as collateral, he laughed. Not a chuckle, but a full dismissive laugh that I can still hear sometimes when I close my eyes. Good luck with that, were his final words before moving out a week later, taking his expensive coffee maker and leaving behind a stack of statistics about restaurant failure rates on the kitchen counter. The first 6 months were brutal. I worked 18-hour days, slept on a cot in the office, and lived on staff meals. My sous chef quit 3 weeks after opening. The plumbing failed during our first Friday night rush. Critics were initially lukewarm at best, but then something shifted. A food blogger raved about our handmade pasta. A local magazine featured my story. Reservations became harder to get by our 1-year anniversary. We had lines out the door and a waitlist stretching weeks last month. Bon Appetit named us one of the best Nuietans in America. The same week, my accountant confirmed we'd broken even 6 months ahead of projections. I finally moved out of my studio apartment into a place with a real bedroom and a bathtub deep enough to soak in, and now here was James's Piernamang. His cover letter explained that his tech startup had folded, that he was between opportunities, and that he had always been passionate about the restaurant industry. He didn't mention our history, writing as if applying to a stranger. His qualifications for dishwashing were non-existent. His reference list included a cousin who owned a sandwich shop and a college roommate who managed a bar. The irony was almost too perfect. My chef de cuisine, Marco, watched me staring at my phone. Bad review? My ex just applied to be our dishwasher. Marco raised an eyebrow. The one who said you'd fail? I nodded. What are you going to do? I thought about responding with statistics about tech startup failures. I considered forwarding him the Bon Appetit article with a simple, who's realistic now? But that felt small, and my restaurant has made me bigger than I used to be. I am going to interview him, I decided. We do need a dishwasher. Marco grinned. Want me to make him prep squid for a week before telling him who the owner is? I laughed, returning to my sauce. No need. Success is sweeter when served without spite. This morning I sent James an email offering him an interview tomorrow at 2 p.m. Tenor the slowest part of our day. I signed it Alexander Chen, a noti and executive enost with a postscript. Please bring your own apron. Some things you have to invest in yourself. Some people laugh at your dreams to make themselves feel secure. Others underestimate your potential because they can't imagine exceeding their own. Either way, the best revenge isn't serving them failure. It's offering them a job when their certainties crumble.